What is up, survivors? This is Harv with Harv's Corner. For today's mod review, we're going to be going over wyverns. Specifically, Gaia's wyverns. That's the mod we're going to talk about today, is Gaia Wyverns. So Gaia in general, if you're not familiar, is potentially be a huge overhaul for your Ark experience, adding dinos, adding abilities, adding all sorts of good stuff. Sort of a total overhaul, primal fear, extinction core sort of edition, but it's definitely in a realm in and of itself completely. I've gotten the chance to play the actual Gaia a couple times. It's been really fun, but this is cool. This is kind of a standalone expansion that you can either add to your already Gaia centered Ark universe, or you can just use this independently to get some cool wyverns. So let's get right into it. So this is really just the structure that you're going to get, which looks really awesome, by the way. I'm glad that, I only get one little structure to craft from, but it looks this cool. I think they got little statue. I guess it's an egg you're guarding? Are you guarding an egg? And then, I feel like it's a really small dragon in comparison. Anyhow, this is the Wyvern Shrine. So you're going to use the shrine to essentially craft wyverns, the Gaia Wyverns. That's how this works. So you're going to find wild Gaia Wyverns all over the map, but you can't tame them. They're genderless. They don't lay eggs. Like, none of it. You can't tame them. So basically what you're doing is you're fighting the Gaia Wyverns to in turn get the pieces that they drop to come back to this guy to make wyverns of your own. That's pretty much how this works. It's pretty simple, but not easy. But yeah, so we can go into it. There's 3 different types, obviously. We have mighty, rapid, toxic. Now think of these like tiers, and then think of every tier having different types inside of that tier. So for instance, mighty Auris. So mighty is the tier, Auris is the type, the Auris wyvern, right? Auris, whatever. But see, we also have rapid Auris, and we also have toxic Auris. Now each individual wyvern in here is going to do a different thing, right? These top tiers, we'll go through these first. So mighty essentially is a _4 stat boost. That's your fighter. That's going to be your fighter wyvern, which you're going to use to fight stuff with. Rapid is speed. It's going to be faster than most of the other ones. By the way, you can also level the speed on all these as well. So, but yeah, rapid, faster. Toxic, your attacks now become Torpor, and you're also immune to Torpor. So these are like this is like your knockout wyvern, right? So within that, you have a bunch of different subcategories, and what it really changes is how the attack works. Really, aesthetically, it changes, and then its specific attack works differently as well. So I have 3 of them out here of different types that we're going to talk about, just to kind of go over it just a little bit. We can start off with this one, and this one is a rapid Etium wyvern. Now I've leveled it up a couple times just to play around with it. I put the movement speed all the way up to 300 because I thought it was funny. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it's actually really obnoxiously fast and hard to control, so I wouldn't advise that. Another thing to note with these guys is they'll smelt metal and turn wood into charcoal for you. So they kind of work like a phoenix, which is pretty cool, and they'll cook meat. So that's neato. So we get on here. So the Etium, its little attack is actually really cool. Walk over here. This dude runs. He moves so fast. But so you have the normal bite attack, and you have the wing swoop like normal. But this alternate attack is pretty awesome. Summons in like a meteor strike, which is pretty amazing. So that's the Etium. Now this is a rapid Etium, so it's going to move 50% faster. It's also going to slow targets that it hits, and it gets increased weight. So that's just the fact that it's rapid. Now the Etium part means I get to shoot these crazy meteor strikes down, which is pretty awesome. But anyhow, that's the Etium. These also get to fly backwards. They're more mobile. The turning radius is better, and clearly you can level up their movement speed, so that's a plus. This one is a toxic Auris, so you have your bite attack, whatever. But the secondary attack is like these giant like ice balls that come down, which is pretty interesting. Now normally those would do straight damage, right? But because this is a toxic Auris, all of my damage is now doing Torpor. It doesn't actually do damage. Let's see if I can find something out of here. Just bite real quick. Maybe? Anything? Hello? The scorpion. Can I just bite you real quick? Excuse me, sir. See? Doesn't actually... Oh, it does actually still do damage to it. Alright, so it still does damage. Oh, yep, there it goes. Okay, yeah. So it does Torpor. So it still does a little bit of damage, but it does Torpor as well. So you can actually knock things out with these guys. Because it's a toxic, not because it's the Aurus. The Aurus means that I shoot those, you know, those icicle balls coming down. But the toxic part means that my attacks also do Torpor damage, which is pretty neat. I feel like that would be really nice with something like a lightning wyvern attack, you know what I mean? That'd be pretty interesting to be able to do something like that. Toxic wyverns are immune to Torpor. Their attacks do Torpor damage. And they also take 15% less damage. Now both of these are ×4 stats, right? So these are ×4 of your normal stats. All three of these are. These are just the other abilities that they get on top of it. So again, you want to make sure you're paying attention to like your tier and your type, because there's a lot of different combinations therein. But yeah, that's the toxic one. Specifically, the Aurus one is the one that I just messed with. And down here we got, this one looks awesome, right? This is a mighty Midgar. So the Midgar actually summons in little dudes that attack for me. Let me go back over here, see if there was something that attacked for me. It kind of looks like a zombie / corrupted wyvern, I guess. So this guy, your alternate attack, summons these little, oh, where'd he go? These little dimorphodons, these little minions that I think would fight for me, but they're not. Oh, there they go. Yeah, they'll like dive bomb the target, essentially is what happens. They'll die on their own because they don't last forever. Yeah, they'll just go away on their own. But they'll dive bomb the target. And with the Midgar, I think it's like a little toxic explosion. I think that's what that was. I'm trying to find something bigger to hit real quick to maybe show you a little bit better. Let me go down this way. There's usually Brontos down here, I think. Now the Mighties are still ×4, but they do even more damage. They also do a bleed attack. Yeah, so they're just tougher. They deal more damage. Here's a Bronto. Let me see if I can summon some dudes out here and then bite them, right? It does a bleed attack, and then they should go in and like kamikaze themselves. Thought they did. Did they do it? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, they just kind of blow up. Yeah, so you got little bodyguards. I imagine that's more useful in a dogfight. So this is the Mighty, and again, it kind of looks like the like zombie corrupt. I think it's more of the corrupted skin than the zombie skin. But these are just 3. So again, what you have to keep in mind is that there's 3 tiers, and within each tier is a bunch of different types as well. So I mean, there's like, I think there ends up being like 90 some odd different types, potentially different types of wyverns. And from what I'm reading, and I'll post links to their workshop in the description, as well as their actual website. It's super helpful and helps out like a lot as far as explaining how everything works. From my understanding, at least 1 or 2, possibly up to 3 of each type could be spawned on the map at one time, or 1 of each or something like that. So you have all the different types that could be spawning on the map at the same time. Now it looks like I'm on Ragnarok right now, and I did see them, and I flew over to the Wyvern Trench and to the Southern Trench, and that's where they spawn. It's just some of them are normal wyverns and some of them are the Gaia Wyverns, and it's pretty blatant when you see them which ones are which. I mean, these guys are typically brighter, color patterns are a little bit crazier. Yeah, definitely, and of course this stands out. When you're not on extinction, something like this stands out quite a lot. These are beautiful though. I like the color schemes. The sculpts look great. It looks like they really just changed some of the coloring up a little bit. Maybe. I don't know if his head was always like this though. I think they might have changed his head for the Mighty one. The other thing that you want to note is that you're going to see Omega Wyverns out here. Now, Omega Wyverns are like ×8, like crazy amount of stats, but you're actually going to need them because you need their DNA to make these things. Now, I don't see an option to make an Omega, so I don't think you can, but you need the Omega to in turn make the other ones. So just need the DNA, you need wyvern scales, wyvern souls, and wyvern wings. And you just get this stuff by killing wyverns, really. By killing the Gaia wyverns specifically. The normal wyverns aren't going to give you anything. But you get these and you bring them back and you make one of these, and that's pretty much how it works. So once you do it, it'll basically summon a baby behind you. And I can spawn one in real quick just to show you. So I just spawned in another rapid ETM, right? So, and they have the spawn codes on their website if you just want to play around with it, try stuff out. But anyway, you get this little token after you make it. And then once you use the token, he shows up behind you like that. And you can just, I mean, my maturity rate is crazy on here just to kind of speed things up. But yeah, he'll be on follow. He'll be on, you know, it's typical aggression levels and everything. It doesn't look like you get to, at least I don't see a way to know what the level's going to be. So I'm assuming the level's always going to be random. I mean, I'm guessing you can get the imprint bonus on it, but as far as the level goes, I don't know how that's distinguished. I mean, I'm assuming it's just random. But yeah, so yeah, I'm assuming it's just a random level between your level range of, you know, low level and max level on your server, but it's actually one I don't know the answer to. But this seems pretty cool. I like it. If you like wyverns, obviously this is a great mod for you. It's because there's so many different types, so many different types, right? And they're more mobile. They move better. They can actually back up. Like I can back up with these guys now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I like it. The only thing I don't like in general, and that has nothing to do with this mod and everything to do with wyverns in general in Ark, is sometimes they can be a bit of a FPS hog, which was actually more so prominent when I was playing on console. Like that used to be really bad. It's not too bad on PC now because it's, depending on what your hardware looks like, you're actually pretty good. You don't see it too much, but yeah, definitely on console I noticed they were absolute resource hogs as far as like rendering and FPS. But I dig them. I dig the mod. I like the mod. I like the idea of the mod, the concept behind it, of all the different types and breeds. Man, that's crazy. They just basically took the whole Gaia overhaul concept and just applied it specifically to wyverns, which makes them really cool. And more customizable. I like that. And I feel like mods like this are more focused, maybe more towards like an RP style-ish server, which means you have more uniqueness and you have more tribes that are doing more unique things because there's more options. So more options are always a good thing in a game like this, where it's pretty open world linear, where you can do what you want. Anything that gives you more options, I think, is a plus. All in all, I like it. I think it's cool. I like that they did this separately, specifically for, you know, the wyverns and people that like them, and really, yeah, it's really cool. I feel like this would be perfect in like a, I don't know, maybe like an RP server where you had like separate, like almost like kingdoms maybe? Because then you have like a very themed wyvern for each one, you know? Like no two, with that many wyverns you could totally split it up so not everyone has the same one, you know what I mean? That's really cool though, I really dig it. I think there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of fun to be had. If anything, just giant wyvern dogfighting would be hilarious with all the different types that you have in here. Yeah. Anywho, guys, that's Gaia's Wyverns in a nutshell. That's pretty simple what it is. Had a request for it pop up on one of our videos, so I looked into it and I was like, yeah, I need to do this. This is really cool. I have a couple others lined up for the next 2 weeks that I'm going to do, but if there's a mod that you want to see done, please throw something in the comments. If there is maybe one that you just want to see explained a little bit, feel free to throw that in there too. Look for a Arc 101 still coming out on Wednesday, but towards the end of the week, I would like to try to put out the first episode of an Arc playthrough. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Feel free to follow me here. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. We Twitch live stream Friday and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. But as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and until next time.